And that's fade out is my cue. Good evening, everybody. Good to see you once again. It's been a hot minute since I streamed. Let's put on some background music. See if everything works out. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I streamed. I think feels like it at least. Last one was an awesome stream. It was the 486 showdown, which was very enjoyable to me at least. I hope to you as viewers as well. For today, I've got something interesting once again. At least I think it's interesting. I've got 3 mystery PCs I picked up recently, which we will hopefully be diving into and see if we can resurrect them, or parts of them at least. The first one is already standing at the ready, as you can see. Let's move over to the main scene, get that starting out of our face. But there's also something else new to the scene, which is this GBS-C VJ, or well, actually all kinds of media converter, but I'm using it mainly for VGA to HDMI conversion. It should provide me with a lot more options and a lot more flexibility for our VGA conversion, and a lot more stability as well. So we'll see how that works out. I have tested it a little bit and it seems to be working fine, but we'll see how it turns out to be working in real time. I've also purchased a HDMI, not an HDMI, a VGA splitter, so I can, and I will, on short term, rearrange my desk a little bit. Let me move the cam just a bit. There's this big flat screen over there, but I will remove it and put a CRT in its place. And I will need the VGA splitter for that. So, yeah, shall we get into it? Shall we take a look at the 3 systems first, before we dive into any of them? I think most screws are already unscrewed. I've prepared them just a little bit. This is the first one, big tower. Yeah, is it a big tower? Or I think it's just a MIDI tower. An update computer system with at least a creative CD-ROM, floppy drive, and the power and reset button. That's all we can see for now. Let's take a quick look at the back. Try not to break the table. So we can see we have an ATX style power supply, so it's not that old. We've got a relatively modern I/O section with PS2, USB, 2 serials and a parallel port, VGA card, which seems to be not that well attached, a modem, a network card, and you can't see the rest. Let's move this over just a little bit, and a sound card. So we'll see when it is opened. Let's move over to the second one. This one and the second one I will be showing you, I've picked up from for very cheap. It was sold by a man whose father had passed away, and he was selling, well, everything that was left on the in the attic and on this in his study. So there is also still hard drives in there with potentially still some data from the old man, so we will not look into that. This is a bit older, it looks like. An AB computer with a Pentium III. Should be a giveaway. 45 speed CD-ROM. And in the back should be a bit similar. Yeah, pretty much. PS2, USB, 2 serials, parallel port, a game port, audio on board, and a VGA adapter. And a nice warranty sticker from AB Computer Service. But this one comes with an old AT style power supply. So we'll see about that in a bit. They're all quite dusty, so I hope the insides are acceptable. I have yet to open them, so we will see. And the third one is this tiny one. Tiny, well, it's pretty tiny for today's standards. It's also a small tower, CD-ROM drive, floppy drive, and in the back we have a bit more interesting stuff. This one I picked up for also for relatively cheap, but this came from a collector who's been cleaning out his collection. So this should be a bit more well preserved system than the other two. So it is an 80 power supply, an older AT motherboard with just a DIN connector, serial parallel, the printer port, I think, VGA. It has a compact flash adapter, so it has some modern form of storage, and there's the sound card on the bottom. We'll save this one for last because I have the idea that this one will probably end up working, at least, and the other two might not. So we'll see about that. Let's start with the big guy, shall we? Let's put him on its side to reveal what its innards look like. It's a funky sliding screwless side plate. Oh, look at that. What do we have here? Let me put this side panel away. We have a, what is it? The Pentium 2 or Pentium 3, at least a slot 1 processor. A graphics card. And that was the modem, yeah, a long device and a sound card. 1 stick of memory. Regular old hard drive. And yeah, everything that you expect. Let's pull out the CPU real quick. See what's in there. Whoa. And after that, we'll give it a quick boot attempt. This is a, let's see if we can figure this out on the camera. Come on, focus. Doesn't feel like focusing. There we go, a 512. I think that's a Pentium 3, but I can't be completely sure. It should be able to tell us. Well, we'll see when we fire it up, if it fires up at all. Let's try and get one back in. I see one of the legs of the CPU bracket has broken off, but that shouldn't be an issue. Let's just hook it up, shall we? See if we end up getting anything, or just smoke, or nothing at all. Hook you up, the keyboard. Won't need a mouse for now, I think, for this initial boot, and a bit of power. Switch to the VGA scene, see what happens. Let's keep our fingers crossed, shall we? Where did that power button go? Well, something is happening, but that's not the sound we want to hear. You can turn off. Long beeps. doesn't sound like a working system, but let's see what that could be. That's long beeps usually mean RAM trouble. Let's see what is in there. And try and replace it with something from our own supply. It is a stick of 64 megabyte PC100. Let's go grab something from my own stash. Where's my PC100 collection? That's not it. This is my PC100 stash. Let's grab two just in case. This is also a 64 meg PC100 stick. Put it in the same slot at first. The people I bought it from couldn't really tell me anything about the systems and what they have been used for. So we'll see. Nope, not helping. Let's refocus that. Skewed. Wow. Stop doing that. Let's try another RAM slot just in case. See if that makes any difference. That sounds a lot better. There's no beeping anymore. Not a single beep. There's a single beep. Well, look at that. Let's pause it real quick. See what we have. That was easy. Easier than I thought. We have from this view a Pentium 3 500. The 64 megs are working. That was my own stick, so they should be. A creative CD-ROM and a Maxter HDD. Well, let's see if it boots, shall we? Yeah, I figured as much. I seem to be missing a bit of the screen here. That's something I need to fix with my capture. But we'll do that later. I have the issue on the other... Oh, what? The issue. That's not called the issue. I have it on the other screen. This is pretty annoying, but we'll do it later. Let's dive into the BIOS real quick. This one is it working properly? Yeah, it's fine. Auto. It's also just fine. The battery's probably pretty dead. This hasn't been running for ages. Let's see if we can find the battery. It's over there. I can see it. This is all just fine. I'm not going to change anything in this. Just checking. Save and exit. Well, this is interesting capture stuff. Well, at least it's working. Let's see what it boots into. If it boots into anything at all. That's fun. Might have to change back to the old capture device. After all. Stuff appears to be happening. We have a Windows screen. The Dutch Windows screen, that is. And no mouse, so this is annoying. But you know what? I'm not going to do this. This feels wrong. It is booting. That's fine, but I don't really want to dive into someone else's computer on stream. And I am going to change back to my old capture device real quick, because it should be working a bit better for these resolutions. Let's hook it up real quick and see if it decides to work. The image is out of range, it says. That one is working. Let me crap. Let me reboot it real quick with the mouse to fix it up. I'm going to check for hardware real quick, but I won't be diving into the hard drive any further. But actually this is a good well, we seem to be having a bot. Let me deal with that. Try and deal with that at least. How does one ban? That's the button for banning. There we go. We don't need to do that. Really wonder what. Don't seem to be having a mouse anyway. Which is pretty annoying. I'll grab my PS2 mouse, see if that one works. It all looks kind of basic, but what weird resolution it's running in. Let's try this once again. At least the battery appears to be charging, which is a good thing. Really curious about what the video card is in there. Could be something interesting. Let me update the content text there real quick. Yes. At least we have a mouse now. Oh yeah, I need to check it here because I can't see it. My other screen doesn't accept it. But yeah, these purchases are always pretty risky, but I think I already had a good one since this one is working. What weird resolution are you running in? And why? It's 8x6. I can't go lower than 8x6. No, I can't. Let's try that one out. S3 Savage 4. Okay. See if that works. No, my other monitor isn't having any of that. The hard drive is going absolutely insane. Is it running in a weird refresh rate? Yeah, it's running at 85 Hertz. That's the issue. It's only a 60 Hertz monitor, so that's the issue there. Let's move it off to the main scene because I want to make sure there's nothing weird on here. There's a 3D Studio Max on there. There's Office. There's Daemon Tools. So someone has been using some less than legal stuff. I'm getting really curious now. Let's not go into here this much more. I really want to see the device manager. Oh, I lost my mouse. But it is entire system freeze. Seems like the entire system just gave up the ghost. So let's do that in another way. Let's just take out the parts instead of checking them in the Windows Device Manager. We know it's running. That's a positive thing. So at least this motherboard, the CPU, the hard drive, and the video card and the memory, my memory, are working. We know it's a Pentium 3 500. We know it's as slow as hard drive. So let's grab, and we know it's an S3 Savage 4, but let's take it out to see. It's a Diamond S3 Savage 4. It's a Stealth 3 S540. PCI 32 megabytes. It's an okay card, I guess. Nothing too special, but it's okay. The motherboard has a nice variety of slots. It has an AGP slot. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 PCI slots and 2 ISA slots. It is a open motherboard. Nothing too fancy, I think. Let's pull out the sound card, see what we have there. Yo, Strider. Good to see you, mate. We just had our first PC boot after replacing the memory. But I didn't really feel like nosing around in someone else's Windows. This is used to belong to the father of a guy I purchased it from. So yeah, it felt a bit weird to be going through its Windows. It's a Sound Blaster Live, pretty standard, but okay card for PCI. Yeah, I'm not really interested in the network or the modem cards really. So yeah, so far so good. 1 out of 1 running. Shall we move on to the next one? Let's see if we can get that one running as well. Let's lift this beast up and see what's behind door number 2. Well, nearly dropped the side panel there. That's what you get from already removing it or unscrewing it. Could have woken the entire house up. The kids are already fast asleep, I hope at least. So let's not wake them up. Well, with the side panel already out of the way, let's take a proper look inside then. As I said, this one is probably a bit older and a bit emptier, but it also contains a slot 1 CPU. Can't really see what it is, but we have a video card. Let's pull it out so we know what it is. It's an HP card this time. It is, I can't really tell yet, but the back should tell us it's a Riva TNT card. That is a nice find. It's not a TNT2, but well, if it's working, it is a very nice find. As you can see, the CPU is right under there, so I can't really remove it without removing the power supply as well. So let's just hook it up and see what happens. See if anything happens at all. Let's jam that power button, shall we? Yeah, that's a whole lot of nothing. I keep it depressed for a bit. Nothing is happening. So my first impression would be that is the power supply gone bad. I should have one in the vicinity I can use. But let's remove this one first. It's probably the power supply being well, a bit overaged. Why is everything stuck together with tie wraps? That is a lot of tie wraps. I don't like that, especially since it's all hooked up to the power supply cables. Wow. My VOD 2 just fell over. Let's remove it from the unit before it happens again. See if we can get these pliers in there. Oh, stupid cam. Or stupid head. That should do it. Let's get screwing. I really should get me one of those handy electric screwdrivers. But yeah, I guess I'll have to sell some parts in order to make some money for that first. And I keep being, I guess, too lazy to actually put my spare parts up for sale. And test them properly, document the tests properly. Well, it is actually an ATX power supply, which is odd, because you usually don't see ATX power supplies with double the connectors, but that makes this easier for me because I don't have that many AT power supplies, and I have a reasonable amount of ATX power supplies, but I will need to move some stuff over. This is too dangerous. That's an AT unit. That's an ATX unit. A cheap one, but it should suffice. Also has a lot of tie wraps, keeping everything together. How are you doing, Strider? Good to see you again, man. Sorry, being a bit preoccupied with all this this stuff. Nothing as fancy as the previous stream today, I'm afraid. I really enjoyed that one though. Doing all the 486 testing and benching. This one is a bit more straightforward and maybe boring, but shall we screw it in place? So I can see if I can just leave it up here. Let's not put it in. Could just be something else altogether. Man, these cables are stubborn. That's that. I'll probably leave out the floppy drive because I can't really reach it that easily. Just like a USB, always wrong direction. Now, what is your problem? The problem with these Molex connectors is that these internal, as you can see, can you see them? Probably. These internal connectors were so wobbly most of the time. It was very hard to actually get them to align properly. Well, now, shall we see if it was, in fact, the power supply that died on us? Nope, it was not the power supply. Or am I missing something here? Hello, back of my head. Good to see you. There's not a secondary power connector. Nope. So it might very well be the motherboard that died on us. Or the power button is just not working. Let's try the old. Well, there is some plastic deterioration going on there. But yeah, now to figure out which one is the power switch. I think it's these ones. Nothing much is happening there either. So yeah, streak. 7 whole streams in a row, mate. Good on you. Should get you something to do with those CPU cycles. What do they call them? My stream points. Yeah. But this is annoying. So I think we'll have to take the entire thing apart, get another slot 1 motherboard, and see what we can salvage. So yeah, let's pull this one out again and start unscrewing stuff. Shall we? Get to do some screwing around. Yeah, the CD-ROM audio is actually connected to the motherboard, so this motherboard has onboard audio. Let's pull you out first. I really hope this one survived the ordeal. I didn't have a Riva TNT yet. I do have a TNT 2 Ultra, but not a normal TNT. Let's put you down over there. Let's pull out the RAM. See what we have. Another PC100 64 meg stick. Remove the CPU fan and the CPU itself. No breaking stuff. This is a 450 Pentium 3. Nice. If it's still working. Let's unhook all the other stuff. Well, we don't really need to remove the motherboard, do we? Since we can be pretty sure that one is dead. I think this one actually has a removable hard drive caddy. I'm not sure how it is removable. Oh, there's a screw over there. But yeah, let's leave the hard drive in peace. See about that some other time. So, bye-bye system. And let's go find that slot 1 motherboard. We require. Well, there's one right over here. My trusty jetway with the both the slot 1 and the socket 370. We know the board works, so let's move you. Where is my box of slot 1 CPUs? There it is. One has a working stick of memory, so I'll put that one on the pile. We need to put it on a bit of a raised platform, because these yes, words, Tormbo, these graphics cards always stick out a bit. But where is my little box of stuff? We should have a nice plastic. Oh, there it is. It's under the other motherboard. Under my Zeta, the one used for all the 486 goodness. Let's toss in the CPU fan cable. Put in the Riva and hook this baby up. Of course, we'll also need the power supply back. So what do you say, Strider? Boot or no boot? Or post, I mean. Do we get a post or do we not get a post? Let's go and find out, shall we? Move over there. Grab my trusty screwdriver for the power. You know what? We don't need a screwdriver. I have a fancy, if I can find it again, set of buttons, which should also include a power button. If I can find, where is the power switch? Of course I can't read this. Let's grab the manual real quick because I can't read this. It's the Jetway J993AN. And here is the manual for anybody that is interested. Should be a separate one. Let's see what happens. Well, something's happening. But since we have no speaker, we don't know if enough is happening. Let's shut it down and hook up a speaker as well. It should also have a nice little piezo. Not nice. That's a very big word for a piezo speaker, but a piezo speaker. It should be the one furthest to the corner. I haven't seen this, but that's... Let's try that again, shall we? The speaker is not speakering. Card is seated correctly. CPU fan is spinning wildly. But we have nothing. What I'm most concerned about is that we don't even have a speaker going crazy. Maybe I had it the wrong way around. Oh, no, it stopped firing altogether. No, there it goes. Still nothing appears to be happening. Do I have another speaker at the ready? I don't think I have a separate speaker anywhere else. So what else can we try? Actually, I do have another one. And we can also try hooking up. Let's try this speaker. It's not having any of it either. So let's try a different graphics card. You know what? Let's pop the battery. Not sure if we ran it with AGP or with PCI graphics cards the other day. Might not want to run an AGP card. Still two options. The CPU or the graphics card. Let's have you look along at least. Let's try the graphics card first. Let me go grab something I know is working. One of the ATIs. I've got so much ATIs. See what happens. If anything happens. I'm still really concerned by the lack of beeps. And the lack of image. So my suspicions go to the CPU actually instead of the graphics card, really. So we can leave that one in. Let's pull this one out, put another one that might work. The feet are all pretty clean, so that shouldn't be an issue, but I should have a 650 lying around that I'm sure works. Well, I think we had some issue with all the 500s the other day, so let's see if we can find that 650. Another 500. I forgot what it looked like. Oh, 600. That's it. That's fine. Let's try that one. Passively cooled, this one. One of the baby monitors is acting up. Hold on. Let's try it once more. Move you over to the VGA. And well, that was a beep. And there's a Pentium III. Why is everything out of whack? Let me make a go fix this real quick. Wow, oops. That was annoying. Okay, well. This is just a temporary scene. It is way out of whack, but at least we have all the information on screen. So it boots. Good. Now we can try the Riva card again. So we can probably pretty safely say it was the CPU and not the motherboard, which gives us some options to try the other PC again. But let's try this one first. See what happens. That was a proper beep. And we have image. Good stuff. So we actually have a working Riva TNT, which is nice. And a broken Pentium III. Let's change this up. Let's put these units into the old PC. Let's see if it fires up. So let's dismantle this setup. Well, we'll need a power supply anyway. One is heating up quickly. Let's also take this RAM stick so we know we have a working one. What is this anyway? 256 PC133. Okay. Put the jetway back in its anti-static bag. Back in the bag. Because yeah, I actually like that one. So I want to keep it running, if at all possible. Let's grab the little machine again. Little. Ow! This is sharp aluminum. Let's hope the motherboard supports PC133 and a 600 MHz CPU. Oh, that one popped out. Let's put it back in. We don't need you for now. We do need you. I never really understood these slot 1 CPUs. I'm more of a socket guy, I guess. Let's hook up another little power supply again. So we know the power supply is working, we know the CPU is working, we know the graphics card is working, we know the RAM is working, so let's see what happens. With the motherboard. That's everything hooked up. I still have to find the power switch, but I guess a bit of poking around with the screwdriver should solve that. Hook you up, hook you up, hook you up. Plug in the power supply. Just in a very good position right now. Move you guys over to the VGA screen and see if we can get it to fire up. not really anything happening. Why not? Let's go take a closer look, shall we? Grab the phone camera. A bit of light. It's not helping. See what we can read from there. Oh, they look to be vertically mounted. Okay. Still. So this should be do the trick. But it doesn't. It's hard to check because there's no speaker hooked up again. Speaker goes on the last pins. Just try and plug it. Power button on. You know what? I'm going to hook up a little case fan I have, just so we know if there's any power happening. I've got this. It's not actually a case fan, it's a CPU fan, but it'll suffice. So we actually know if we have power running or not. Yeah, we do have power. The fan is spitting up. It's also hard drive activity, it seems. Let's go open the CD-ROM real quick, see if there's anything left in there. Doesn't feel like opening. Fun. Okay. Well, I guess we can say either the motherboard is dead as well, or it doesn't support this CPU. My bet would be on the first option. Well now, so much for that. Out of two pretty much unknown PCs, we at least managed to salvage one entirely, and a Riva TNT, so not too bad. And with this set also came two 14-inch tiny CRT monitors, which I also need to test sometime, but I'm not going to do that right now because those things are heavy and I don't want to be hauling them around when half the house is asleep. But we have one system left, and that's actually the one I have the highest hopes for. But yeah, this might turn out to be a rather short stream today, because once This content is done. My content is really, whoops, it's really done. Let's remove the CPU from this one because it doesn't need to be in there. We can always check the hard drive contents later if my curiosity gets the best of me. Whoops. Let's not forget to unplug everything, shall we? It's really channeling my inner Anakin there. Whoops. Yeah, I'm really collecting too much mess. Okay. So this one, I'm pretty sure is working. It comes with a compact flash card in it. So, should all be pretty foolproof. Let's go grab the serial mouse again. Hook up ye olde power. And let's see what happens, shall we? Move you over to the capture scene and fire it up and listen. We have stuff happening. I saw a very quick flash of an S3 Trio 64V Plus, 32 megabytes of memory and a dead CMOS battery. Would you look at that? Isn't that a fancy BIOS? A mouse-driven BIOS. And my mouse pointer has a little tail, a little wagging tail. Let's see. Do you detect? You detect it. That's good. Mouse works. Hardly works on my desktop, but that's okay. Let's go. Save changes and exit. Let's see what this man gave me. This one I also purchased with a CRT monitor, but a bit bigger one, a 17-inch, which is the one I will end up using. I just want to resume, so let's resume, shall we? See what happens. No, I don't want to get. No, just post, please. Yeah, that's okay. I don't need a B drive anyway. I want to see what CPU is in there. You don't need to boot from A, but there's a Pentium in there. Oh god. Okay, this is going to be fun. Let's dive back into the BIOS. Yes, that is good. Don't need to boot from A. I just want you to boot from C. Please just boot, post, skip the damn battery. Will you? Don't care. Just continue. We don't have a B drive. Shut up. Okay. Oh, actually, I can see it's a 133 MHz Pentium. But we'll need to fix this CMOS battery situation first. So let's shut you down. And I should have some CR2033 32s lying around. So if that is the case, it is fixable. This is one of the fancy old AT cases with an entire shroud instead of loose side panels, which is cool. I really like those cases. They don't come around that often anymore. Let's take a look at your innards, shall we? We're pretty crowded. There's the battery. There's the compact flash card. Sound blaster. What is it? A CT4180. It's probably a Vibra or 16 value. The graphics card in there. So a lot of memory in. But let's replace that battery, shall we? If I can quickly find where I stored those units. I can. And I have. It's always the situation of getting them out of their blisters. There's a weird orange smell coming from this one. Not sure if that's supposed to happen, but yeah, smells like oranges. I hope I didn't release any poisonous gas into my workspace like that. Let's try and get you out without moving. Should be a spot where you can easily get on there. Should be able to push it out that way. Yeah, there we go. You are the dead one. You can go with the rest of the dead ones. There we go. Let's just leave you on your side for now. See if this solves our little battery issue. And the fun stuff I have decided, since it has a compact flash card, I can actually insert my compact flash I used for the benchmark in the other stream and see how well this system does on all the benchmarks. Since this is an actual Pentium in a Pentium motherboard instead of a one that's forced into a 4086 motherboard. Let's fire it up. He actually installed a case fan. That's fun. See if this goes any better. see more settings and what display type. Yes, that's okay. No. Yeah. Nothing I need to do with that. That should be fine. That should be fine. Copy B, not installed. Copy A, over 44. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. Primary master is on. Let's see about this. Save changes. There we go. Oh. Good. EDO, RAM and SPM. Slow page memory instead of fast page memory. But something should be happening now, and there isn't. There's a lot of information on one screen. But nothing is happening. Let's see if we need to fix anything in there. It still responds to my Control-Delete. I would expect him to have put in a working compact flash card, a bootable one, but let's put that one, shadow that one. Words. Turn that off. See if what happens. Occasionally these compact flash cards are well, having a little fight with older BIOSes. Doesn't look like it's happening. Just go through these settings a bit, see if we can get it to work. This is getting a bit frustrating. I'm going to try the other compact flash card in a bit. Shit, too late. I would expect this compact flash to work. But yeah, you never know. One thing could be to turn this one on and to turn 32-bit mode off. See if that changes anything. It does not. Let's try the other one. Where's my... Of course I don't remember which one I put it on. Should be this one. Let's try this one, see what happens. There we go. It was actually the Let's move over to the benchmark scene and see if we can get our bench. Was it a Notepad? Was it a Notepad++? It was a Notepad++. There we go. Move it up a little bit. Give me a bit more room in there, because we want to see them all. Let's add another line for the Let's just go do all the benches, shall we? Shall we scale it down a bit? Like that. Should still be readable, right? Where's the middle? Let's go do a little benchmarking. And start with Doom, with minimum details. I think I ran on the other ones. Should be insanely fast. Oh, red is gone again. That was a lot faster. 206.90. Yeah. A real Pentium is really a lot faster. 3D bench. Which 3D bench did we do? Oh, that one. For slower PCs. See what happens. Look at that. That's so much faster. 25. It should probably be the max for this one, because it isn't all that much faster. Than, it's actually slower than the 5x86, which is odd, but might just be running into some issues. The PC player benchmark. It all feels so much smoother. Look at that fancy 3D. $34.2. That is also a lot more. As you can see, the Pentium Overdrive scored 12.1. This one's scoring 34.2. And this is all software rendered, so it's all run in the by the CPU. Sure. We'll do it anyway. 98.63. Good. Norton SI. Where's system info? It's K. Benchmarks, CPU speeds 421.3. Yeah, as you can see, a real Pentium is, well, a lot faster in most of these tasks. We seem to be missing something else here. Yeah, Quake. We need Quake. Definitely need Quake. Top bench. Top bench not running. Okay, no top bench for this one. We didn't get Norton SI for the AMD. We don't get top bench for this one, but let's go do a little bit of Quake. Look at that. That is some proper speed. I was about to say, shall we play some Quake, but then I remembered how this mouse is working. .33 frames per second. You know what? Now we did this, I'm curious. What does the K62 score? Let's try that one as well, while we're at it. Let's replace this one. But this is nice. I'm pretty happy with this machine. It will probably get a CPU upgrade. And then a nice spot in my lineup. I still have a 200 MMX lying around somewhere. I think this one will be a nice candidate for that. Not sure if I'll keep it in this this case or move it into another one, because I also still need to build the 486 into something, and I don't have another AT case. Wait, I do have another AT case because it's looking me straight in the face. So yeah, I'm not sure. Let's park you over here. Grab the K62, which I'll probably use for some more TIE Fighter sooner or later as well, because we still need to finish TIE Fighter. Do we not? I rather think we do. There's the Win98 compact flash. So yeah, we'll do this this set of benches, and after that I'll call it a day for today. Still a bit recovering from a flu-ish episode, and well, kids will probably wake me up pretty early again as well tomorrow. So let's go and see what happens with this one. Move you back up to the bench machine. Add another line. Make this one a little bigger so the K62 fits. I'm not sure why I actually made this blue, but let's go. Bench. These benchmarks really weren't made for a system like this, but we'll see how it turns out. Let's go, Doom. This is crazy. That was 385 frames per second. Let's do the max details one as well, just to see if it matters a lot. Yeah, it does matter. It actually matters quite a bit. But it was still a proper 95 frames per second. Wouldn't want to run that on a 486. Let's see what 3D Bench gives us. It's still stuck at 25. $33.3. That's still not all that much. Let's see what the faster PCs one does. Right. I think the other one is limited. But that's okay. We measured that one for every other one, so I guess that was almost limiting it. The PC player benchmark. Okay, this one is probably quite limited by the resolution as well. Maybe even throughput for the graphics card, I don't know. Sorry, little yawny there. 111.3. That is an insane improvement. But yeah, these K62 and K63 CPUs were pretty much the ultimate in Socket 7 CPUs. So they were the last generation. See what the 640 by 480 one is doing. So it's no surprise that 29 frames per second. It's no surprise that this one is scoring so much higher. See if Speedsys can handle this one. $397.77, just a bit above a Celeron 333 and way above a Pentium 2 300. what a jump compared to the Pentium. Let's see if we can get not in sysinfo to run. Nope. It has some issues with the AMD, later AMD processors, I guess. Top bench, will it run this time? Oh, it's actually it is hung. Let's. It's actually froze on the Norton sysinfo. So yeah, this is one of my my system's one of my daily drivers is a big word, I guess, but this is one I will be running pretty much, pretty often. I mean, and I intend to have this one alongside a 486. Well, I'm not sure what I will be running in there yet. I've got a lot of options. We've got the DX4100, the F5X86, or the Pentium Overdrive. So I'll need to figure out which one to run in there. I will be running the Pentium system we just tested, but then with a Pentium 200. We will have the Athlon XP system, and at least, yeah, I'm not sure, either a slot 1 Pentium 3 or a socket 370 Pentium 3 system as well. I'll have to figure that out, and figure out how much space I actually have to put them in a proper spot. But top bench it was, right? Yeah. See, nope, no top bench. Then let's go see how this thing handles Quake. After that, we'll do a one in 640-480 as well. Look at the speed of that one. This is all because these units had proper floating point and math coprocessors. 67.7. Let's go do a 640x480 one as well, just to see how it turns out. It looks a lot better. It plays a lot worse, especially with all these explosions and particle effects. But this is still playable. I guess it will be bits sub 30s, maybe around 30s. That was 17.6. That was not as much as I expected, but oh well. I guess that pretty much settles it for today. Let's just see if this check CPU actually gives me any proper information. Yeah, it does. 351.8 megahertz. Now, as you can see, instruction set extensions, it has MMX instructions and 3D Now, which was particular to AMD, which helped it a lot in rendering these 3D games. So yeah, that helped. The Pentium processors have, at least the later Pentium processors had only had MMX, so the 3D Now AMD developed really helped. But yeah, that was on that for my stream. Let's shut this one down, put it back in its place later. Thank you all for watching, for listening to me ramble on about this old hardware. I really enjoy doing it, and I will keep enjoying doing it. So I hope at least some of you keep enjoying me rambling on about it. Shall we see if we can find someone to raid? Never really anything interesting going on in the science and technology category, I think. But let's see if there's someone I'm following that is interesting to dive into. We could always dive into. You know what? Let's give little Kingy a raid. Yeah, I'm not really the one for proper raid messages, so just figure it out as we go along. Oh, he just went offline. That's not happening. So we're not raiding Kingy. Let's see if there's anybody else. I know. We'll go and raid So Everdream Joe. He is he's currently playing Timberborn. He's playing well, he's a very excited streamer, excitable as well sometimes. But yeah, he has a bit of different energy from me, but should be fine. Let's go pay him a visit, shall we? We'll be going in a couple of seconds. So thanks again. See you next time. Ciao.